Real quick, if you guys rock with me, make sure you head over to my reaction channel. Over there, we're getting 2 to 3 videos every single day. So if you want more Berto content, that's the place for you to go. Berto Archives, link in the description. Now let's get right back to the video. It takes 2 seconds. I appreciate y'all, and I know you'll enjoy it. Whether you've gotten your ass beat before, or somebody's gotten under your skin so bad to the point you're ready to put paws on them by any means necessary. Some way, shape, or form, you've probably been in an altercation before, or at the very least have been desperately holding yourself back from doing so. One thing about getting older is you actually start to gain some experience in life, and I'll be the first to tell you, not all fights are worth starting. Sometimes you get so blinded by anger that you're not really taking in consideration what you're gonna have to deal with after this fight starts. So today we're gonna be talking about types of fights you should always avoid. And I'm not gonna lie, number 1 on this list might come off as filthy to some of y'all, but you should never enter into a fight that you can't win. Sometimes we get so angry and caught up in the heat of the moment that we are willing to crash out no matter who's in front of us. And while on one hand, I'm sure that's commendable to some of y'all, I wonder if the people that have lost their ability to walk and speak because their head has been stomped on the curb are thinking the same thing. I think it would be in your best interest before you decide to engage in any altercation, you actually size up the person that you're looking to battle with. If any of you guys are familiar with the TV show very dope, you probably should check it out. But I'm sure Mark is looking back at his first interaction with Battle Beast full of regrets. You ever heard the saying, choose your battles wisely? Because if you have a stock build of a stick bug trying to go against a 6-foot 200-pounder, all because a nigga made fun of your shoes, I ain't gonna lie, me as your friend, I'd probably vote for you to pass on trying to fight him. There was this one time I was at the gym playing 5-on-5 regular basketball hoop shit, and there was this huge, I'm talking Hulk looking type nigga had walked into the gym with his ankle monitor still beeping fresh on his leg. I had looked over to one of my homies and I was like, yo, who is this guy? He had informed me that he had just got out of jail a couple of weeks ago and now he's on house arrest. I kind of just left it at that because I didn't really care to know anymore. So the hooping continues, and of course, by coincidence, this nigga ends up guarding me. And when I tell you, every single time I went to go lay the ball up, this man would tackle me out the air. Wasn't even playing basketball. Bro wasn't even playing football. Nigga was dead ass on some WWE shit every possession of the game trying to hurt me. And I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to keep it P, but there was only so much body slamming to the ground I could take. And I remember vividly, I went up for a layup and this man literally went and hugged my legs while I was in the air. I fell directly on my back and hit my head so hard that I literally saw black and white for 2-3 seconds straight. My nigga, I was so pissed when I got up. When I finally faded back into consciousness, I got up in this man's face. But right then and there, I ain't gonna lie, for the first time in my life, I got hoed. Before I could even let out words to talk shit, it dawned on me. I was a 7th grader about to try and get my lick back on a grown man who is towering over me, has way more muscle than me, who still currently has an ankle monitor on his leg. I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't say shit. And the irony of it all, only a couple plays later, he had gotten into it with another individual. And it was only then I was truly happy with the choice I had made, because when I say this man pummeled this nigga to the point his face was unrecognizable, it took about 5-10 guys to even pull this gorilla man off of him. That could have been me, but I chose peace. Call it what you want, but that was a battle that I was happy that I did not choose. Next on this list, we gotta talk about the people that can't fight at all. Now you might be asking yourself,
Berto, why would you avoid fighting somebody that can't fight?
Well, allow me to enlighten you on why it isn't worth it. I've been taking boxing classes for the last year, and one thing that has become very clear to me since I've actually started to learn the fundamentals of fighting: most people do not know how to fight. And the cherry on top to that is, you can't tell if someone can fight just by looking at them. I remember walking into my first day of boxing class and literally looking around like, I could definitely whoop everybody's ass in here. We had middle-aged dads in there with big bellies, skinny niggas that looked like they couldn't even pick up a 25-pound dumbbell, and you even had a couple of women in there that looked like they could just be soccer moms or something. Boy, when I tell you, in my first sparring session, I was getting pieced up by regular looking individuals. It was a lesson to learn that looks don't determine how good your hands are. With that being said, if you actually know how to fight a little bit and you engage in an altercation with an individual that literally does not know what they're doing, you could really fuck them up. I'm talking about messing them up to the point so bad everybody gonna start turning against you. Nobody likes a bully, and before you know it, you over here defending your honor from a nigga that just spat in your face, and you beat him so bad everybody start turning on you, and now you fuck around catch a case because you just pummeled this loser to the ground. I ain't gonna lie, if anybody spits in your face, big, small, tall, fat, anything, you gonna have to do it to him. But you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. The next one on this list is not even a joke, and I really shouldn't have to say it, but women. As a man, it should be a well-known fact that you should never put your hands on a woman, no matter the case. this. But something that I don't think is talked about enough is sometimes guys put themselves in situations where it becomes very hard not to do this. Because there are some women out there that will really test your gangster, bro. I'm talking about calling you out your names all types of ways, disrespecting you, talking about you dirty, you broke, you unsuccessful, your friends are more attractive than you. I mean, some girls will really try to hurt your heart, boy. And I think it's because of the rule that men should never hit women that they feel so bold to do so. All I'm gonna say, my brothers, on some real shit, you guys really need to start paying attention to the red flags that girls be showing in your face. Because under no circumstance should you ever put your hand on a woman. But you're not doing yourself any favors getting in a relationship or dealing with a woman that is constantly egging you on to do something bad. At the end of the day, there's never no excuse unless it's some crazy self-defense type of situation. But even then, in most cases, I feel like you should be able to maneuver out of it. So my best advice to you all around is just stay away from women that tend to show no respect for you at all as a man.
Regardless of how good they look, it's just not worth it, my brother.
Next on this list, we got to talk about the shooter. In 2025, we are in a YN all-time high with niggas ready to crash out about every and anything. And something that I thought was really cool is that Aaron the Plumber character coming back on the scene, because it seems like he's willing to fight anybody about anything, but instead of shooting, he's pulling out them paws. Hopefully he's inspiring crash outs across the country to put the guns down and pick their hands up. But until we see more evidence of that truly being the case, y'all gotta be really careful about who you starting fights with, because a nigga won't hesitate to pull that blick out on your ass. You over here getting into bar fights because a nigga done brushed shoulders with your girl, and now your ass 6 feet deep looking like SpongeBob and shit. Kinda similar to not being able to judge a book by its cover and knowing who can really fight or not. And the same thing with people that are carrying that fire on them. Like, I live in Houston, Texas, and when I tell you everybody got that shit. I'd be very careful about raising your voice and getting too aggressive with niggas because you just never know. But one crucial thing that I know everybody can keep an eye out for, if you see yourself getting into an argument with somebody and it starts to hit a level of aggression where it's like, oh shit, I might have to get into it with this nigga. But for some reason, they seem extra calm. Calm to the point where no matter what you do, he gonna be alright. I'd probably use that as a moment to second guess whether you want to do this or not. Because I tell you right now, there's nothing like having the power of that fire in your hand. It don't matter how tall you are, it doesn't matter how much muscles you got. Shit, it don't even matter how well you can fight. I don't care if your hand's like Jackie Chan, that shit not stopping bullets. Next we gonna talk about the jumpers. Anytime I've ever been in an altercation, I've always tried to make it a one-on-one situation. I've actually never even been jumped before because when I was growing up, that was always considered corny. If you had a problem with me and we really had to go down that path, we was gonna settle it one-on-one. At best, I'd have my partners pull up and your partners pull up just to make sure it was an even battle. But nowadays, it seems like all honor and pride has gone out the window. People will use any opportunity to snake somebody and sneak them. And getting jumped has got to be one of the worst ways to go out because it just doesn't matter. If you're outnumbered, you gonna go out sad. And I've met some pretty pride heavy guys that always feel like they gotta stand on something no matter what. I'm talking about 1 versus 5 type of battles. And while it's commendable and maybe you get a little badge of honor in the street cred, I've seen cases where brothers have gone into comas. Typically when somebody's willing to jump you, they gonna do you all types of dirt. One time after school, there was this McDonald's that me and my dogs always used to roll to after practice. That particular day, I was there dolo, and I had witnessed a brawl of a lifetime. There was this kid named Jose that I had seen around school. Me and him didn't talk much, but for the most part, he seemed like a cool individual. But for whatever reason, Jose was wolfing with Brandon outside the McDonald's. And you know how that shit go. When people start arguing and raising your voices and shit, you kind of nosy and start looking. And I didn't mention this, but Brandon was literally the YN of my school. I didn't see Brandon get expelled for putting his paws on a math teacher. It wasn't long after them wolfing back and forth when I seen 3 other niggas pull up from the shadow realm like some Organization 13 type shit. And before you know it, they was all stomping my dog Jose out bad. And I witnessed the whole thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt pretty bad about not stepping in. But I wasn't my partner. And I didn't feel like losing teeth that particular day. So I just minded my own. I don't know if Jose had a choice in the matter because sometimes you don't. But if it were me personally, I would have tried my best to just sit that one out. That's all I got for you guys today. Let me know if there's any other fighter that I had missed on the list. And if you guys enjoy it, maybe I'll make an updated version. I'm on a roll right now. I'm dropping videos left and right. So make sure you guys turn on that noti bell, like up. Really do appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Where you at?
Where you at, Berto?